membership list. We don't call roll. It's come whenever you can. Wish you'd come every month, but if you can't, we're happy to see you when you can be here. At this time, I'd like to recognize our elected officials, but I'm not going to take time to try to introduce each one. So if you're an elected official other than our speaker of today, please stand, or if you're already standing, hold your hand up. Thank you. It's good to, again, it's good to have everyone here, especially those folks. At this time, Ricky, would you like to lead us in prayer? Sure. Commissioner Hartford.
Will you join me in prayer, please? Kind Heavenly Father, as we approach thy throne of grace this day, we do so understanding that thou knowest all things and art able to do above and beyond that which we ask of thee. And as we come today, we ask that you would bless each one that is here, bless our gathering together, bless those who are not able to be here for whatever the reason may be. We know there are many who have said, when you pray, remember me. We bow at this time, O Lord, in the only way that we can approach unto thee and ask thy blessing of free and sovereign grace upon us this day. Father, we thank you for each one that is here, the many varied communities that are represented. We would ask you to bless us all together in the cause that is set before us. Help us to be united in our efforts, and may we look unto thee, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. Bless our land and country. Bless our leaders from the White House to the State House, to the courthouses, and we would ask in a wonderful way this day, cover us with the umbrella of thy providence, constrain the wicked, that they may be deterred in their wicked intentions. We know that thou art able to do just those things, and we pause in our busy lives to thank you for that precious time. Bless us as we continue in our fellowship together. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Thank you. Bob Green, here. Bob, would you lead the pledge of allegiance? Sure.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know that Senator Livingston is in the conference at Welden County this weekend, and I haven't talked to Nathaniel, but I'll bet he's there too. But anyway, if you're back next month, you'll probably see and hear both of them. Another thing, we don't usually try to recognize everybody that has a birthday. That will take a while. But some are a little more, maybe a little more special than others when you get as old as some of us are. We have a gentleman here today who's been a very faithful attendee of these meetings for a good while now. Next Monday will be his 91st birthday. Jack Livingston. About 3 people asked me for some time today to announce their candidacy for political office next year's election cycle. And Since we also have a speaker that has driven some business to get here, I'm going to ask these other people to be brief, say less than 10 minutes. I hope that'll be enough time for each of them. And Dr. Payne, you do time for just in case anybody gets on at about 8 minutes, maybe do what he does or something. I can't do that. Okay. We have some other big candidates here that have already announced their candidacy. I'd like to recognize them also. Would you stand, or if you're standing, hold your hand up. Lester Black, County Commission, Jeff McCurdy, Circuit Judge, Ron Slaybright, County Commission, Judge Ronnie Osborne, Probate Judge, Nick Welden, Sheriff, and your others. Okay, at this time, Scott, if you'd like to make your way.
Mayor Cable was going to introduce me, if that's okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Mayor Paul, okay.
Yeah, okay. First off, I want to invite you to Fife, Alabama, 2 weeks from today. We've got a little UFO festival that'll be going on there, entertainment all day. Scott handed out some papers. I was going to share with you a lot of the information that's already on it. I asked you to read over the information that's on the back of the pamphlet that Scott handed out. He'll cover a lot of it. I have known Scott for more than 40 years. He and his family, they're fine folks. And Scott and my oldest son grew up together. They were in school. They were after school. They were at my house, that's at his house. Spent much time together. They were in activities together all the way through. Scott has done well in his education, and he has finished very high in his class, if not the top of the class. Scott has spent 20 years protecting us from criminals, and he would like to spend some more time protecting us from criminals. He's very able-bodied, capable of doing that. So I present to you Scott Loyd.
Good morning, everybody. I think everybody in the room probably already knows about this, but I am Scott Loyd, and I'm here today to announce that I am seeking our party's nomination for the seat of Circuit Court Judge, Place 2 in the Republican primary. That is the seat currently held by Judge Cole. And together we can flip that seat to our party. It's good to see a huge Republican crowd out here this morning. This is very important to me to see this many folks come out for our Republican meeting. I want to talk to you about my experience. When you select a circuit court judge, you should vote for somebody with a great deal of legal experience. I have 21 years of legal experience, over 20 of that in the district attorney's office serving under District Attorney Mike Odell. Now, I also want to point out that my experience extends to civil cases as well as criminal cases. Something that a lot of people may not know about the district attorney's office is we probably handle more civil, child support, and domestic relations cases than any other law office in this circuit. And I handle a great deal of those myself. So if you want a candidate with the experience in both civil and criminal cases and 21 years of legal experience, I'm your guy. I am a family man. My wife and I celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary this year, and we have 14-year-old twins. And I don't know if y'all can, my wife is right back there behind my parents. Laura, would you step forward so they raise your hand? That's my wife. And then my daughter Sarah is over here filming for me right there. And my daughter Caroline. Caroline, would you stand up back there in the back, please? Okay, there she is, baby. All right, the girls just started high school this week. That was a big thing in our life. The reason I mentioned being a family man is circuit court is domestic relations court. It's family court. And I believe we need a family man for family court. I've shown commitment to our party for a long time. I don't know if y'all would have any guess. I don't know if anybody in the room would come up with it unless you've heard me say this before, but I want you to think, who do you think was the first Republican I voted for? The answer is President Ford. In a mock election, when I was in preschool, I voted for President Ford. The reason I did was because I was taught at home by my parents, Anna and Jimmy Loyd of Rainsville, that President Ford was the Republican candidate and was the best qualified candidate in his race. Now, I was the only kid in my class who voted for President Ford, and all the other kids laughed at me. But I was prepared to endure that because I knew that I was doing the right thing. Somebody who has shown commitment to our party since preschool has shown the kind of commitment that we need, the kind of long-term commitment to our party that we need. Now I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about the issues that I plan to address as a circuit court judge. The good thing about being around as long as I have is I've had a lot of time to see areas that can be improved in our justice system and think about ways that that can be accomplished. First, I want to improve the quality of justice that's delivered for everybody in the legal system, including victims. One particular issue that I would like to address on that is the way things are set up now. You can have a victim who's due restitution for wrongdoing that a criminal committed against her. And the bad guy can go to the circuit clerk's office and pay money, and the victim get none of that money because it all applies to court costs until the court cost is paid in full before the victim gets anything. I want to change that. And all it takes is electing a judge who is prepared to enter an order in each case that says victim goes first. Actually, the better way to do it, I think, would be to say that it's proportional so that if, say, 90% of what the bad guy owes is restitution and 10% is court cost, then 90% of what he pays goes on restitution and 10% goes on court cost. But under no circumstance should the victim be last in line. All right, second, I want to reduce the budget of the office. The seat that I'm running for currently has 4 staff members, including 2 secretaries. Now, Judge Taylor gets the job done with 1 secretary, and Judge Bell gets the job done with 1 secretary. If Judge Taylor can get the job done with 1 secretary, and Judge Bell can get the job done with 1 secretary, I can get the job done with 1 secretary. And I can do that without laying anybody off. There's actually a staff member who has announced that when DeKalb retires, she does too. And so I won't have to lay anybody off. Now, the third thing I want to do is improve the availability of the court. I want to implement a rotating on-call system where we always have a judge who is on call and in the circuit prepared to handle any emergency legal business that comes up, such as police officers needing search warrants, people who need emergency orders on their domestic relations cases and things like that. I'm going to ask the other judges to work with me on that, and if it requires me to just always be the one who stays here, then that's what it is. All right, now I want to give you a word of warning. I talked to a Democrat friend of mine last month. Yes, I have Democrat friends. I hope everybody is able to have Democrat friends because we need to be able to talk to them. He told me that he believes they will have a candidate in this race. The primary is not the entire race, and we need to give thought to nominating a candidate who is known and trusted in both of the counties in this judicial circuit, DeKalb and Cherokee County. I stand before you as a son of DeKalb County. I'm the son of Anna and Jimmy Loyd of Rainsville right back there, and I was educated in the DeKalb County school system. I also stand before you as a longtime resident of Cherokee County, with my kids currently enrolled in the Cherokee County school system. Now, I've heard a lot of talk about how this race is going to be Fort Payne versus Henniger, or Henniger versus Rainsville, or Fort Payne versus Cherokee County. But what I want to say is, we are all Republicans, and we are all neighbors. We need to nominate a candidate who will bring the 2 counties together behind the Republican Party and flip that seat to our party. Instead of voting based on geography, I urge you to vote based on experience and qualifications. We need a candidate who will deliver that seat to our party in November 2018. Now, I urge you, when you're deciding who you're going to vote for and support in this race, focus on a candidate who has the experience and qualifications to deliver that seat to our party. I'm asking you to vote for and to support Scott Loyd for circuit judge. I passed out cards this morning. I hope everybody got one. If not, we have some more back in the back, and we'll be glad to give you one. We'd love for you to have one. We have signs out in the parking lot. We'll get you a sign if you take one. We'd love for you to take one, please do. And we're on Facebook, Scott Loyd for Circuit Judge, and we have a website that is www.scottloyd.org. Please check us out. Thank you.
Lest I forget it later on, if you did not get an email reminder about this meeting, if you'll give me your email address before you leave today, you will get a reminder about next month's meeting and the ones following that. Okay, next, Andrew Hairston.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Like any good husband, I let my wife hold on to my nose because I would lose. I know we're all friends here this morning, but there may be some of you that don't know me, and I'm going to try to talk loud. Judge Mobley, can you hear me? Judge Mobley's here from Cherokee County today, and I'm glad he's here. But I know we're all friends, but I want you to know my name is Andrew Hairston. I live here in DeKalb County. And other than a brief stint in Birmingham during law school, which I didn't like very much, I've lived here in DeKalb County my entire life. It's my privilege to have my family here with me today. My wife Jessie's here, and we had our 4th anniversary on Thursday. And she was campaigning with me all over the county on our anniversary, so I've got to get dinner on Sunday. But I appreciate her doing that. My dad, Andy, is here. Most of you know my dad has been a police officer here in Fort Payne and with the DeKalb County Drug Task Force for over 30 years. My brother Josh is here too with his little 3-month-old, her first Republican meeting. Josh is also a police officer. We're very proud of him for following in Dad's footsteps. And I think Dad's a little prouder of him than he is me becoming a lawyer. My other brother, BB, wave your hand. BB's here. Everybody's got to have a BB in their family, you know. And my sister Candace is here with her husband, who's also a police officer with the DeKalb County Drug Task Force. And all my nieces and nephews are here. Y'all raise your hand. Everybody, Coleman, y'all raise your hand. Junior, Romeo. Some of them came all the way from Gunnersville. They were on a family vacation this morning. And they drove an hour because they wanted to hear Uncle Andrew speak. And so I'm glad that they made it. It warms my heart to see them here. But there's somebody that's not here that I wish so bad was, and that's my mom. And you know, most of you know Mom died in last September. I can't believe it's almost been a year after a 10-year battle with breast cancer. But Mom gave me the greatest gift in this life because she told me about Jesus. And because of that, even though she's not here, I know and I stand firm on the promises and the assurances that I will see her again one day. And I look forward to that day. But until then, I think we've got some work to do. I've been around the Republican Party since 2004. Todd Greason and Judge Bell's in the back. They started the DeKalb County Young Republicans again, and I joined that group. And I served as the vice chairman of that group for 4 years until I went to law school. And then after law school, I moved back home and I served as the vice chairman of the Northeast Alabama Young Republicans and served in that role until this year when we elected new officers. And being around that long, I noticed something about elections. Every election cycle, people come up here and they come in here and they give us a normal campaign speech. But then what happens? Where do they go? Well, I've never been normal. You could just ask my family. I'm sure they'd be glad to tell you. So I'm not going to stand up here and insult your intelligence and give you a normal campaign speech. Instead, I want you to know who I am, who you're voting for, why I'm a conservative, and why that's important to our county and our community in Cherokee and DeKalb County. I practice law here in DeKalb and Cherokee County. And in addition to my law practice, I serve as the judge in Geraldine and the judge in Fort Payne. I'm the prosecutor for the town of Sylvania, and I'm the public defender in Rainsville. I enjoy a very busy life all over the county, but it's a good life that God's blessed me with. I became a Republican when I was 16 years old. I didn't grow up in a political family. We didn't discuss politics that much at home. I'm ashamed to tell you, at 16, I really didn't know the difference between a Democrat and a Republican. But at age 16, I came across Ronald Reagan's speech called A Time for Choosing. And I watched that video. And in that video, he spoke so passionately about our beloved America. He called us a shining city on a hill. And so it was at that point that I said, if that freedom-loving patriot is a Republican, then Andrew Hairston's a Republican. You see, in my America, the government doesn't pick the winners and losers. In my America, government intrusion is not to replace personal responsibility. In my America, the government works for the people and only has the power given to it by the people. I'm a conservative because I believe it in my soul. You and I, the free people of this country, we know better how to live our lives than some politician knows how to live it for us. And we should never forget that. I believe that in America you have the right to life, you have the right to pursue liberty, and you have the right to defend your property. And I believe that life includes that of the unborn child, and we should never back down from that promise and that pledge. I believe, just like a precious jewel, Patrick Henry once said, we must jealously guard the liberties that were intended for us by our founding fathers, and we must stand up and stand in the way of those who seek to fundamentally change our country. That's why it is my humble honor, and it is a very humble honor to be here and stand before you this morning and announce my candidacy for Circuit Judge of DeKalb and Cherokee counties. I believe that judges should be judges and not legislators. I believe that judges should be honest, plain and simple. What more can you ask for? We just want honesty for once and for all in our country and our county. Let's get some honesty. I believe that judges should be dependable, and I believe that they should be leaders in their community. I pledge to you that I will be fair and just, regardless of age, race, gender, social, political, or economic status. When you come into my courtroom, I promise you will be on an equal playing field. We are a nation of laws and not of men. And because of that, we must ensure that the law is applied fairly and equally to all people. And I've been doing that in Fort Payne and Geraldine for a long time. If elected, I pledge to confront the drug abuse epidemic in our community head on. From 2013 to 2015, 2,057 people passed away in Alabama from drug abuse. The 2016 statistics are not even in, so I'm sure that that's gone up. But even one death from drug abuse is one too many. Many of our friends and family members are succumbing to this epidemic. This is not a political talking point or some campaign stump speech, and it never should be. But this is about our lives. This is about our family, and this is about our future. Some of these people are coming from good families, and they're good people, but they've got an addiction. Over the last 3 months, 2 of my friends have passed away here in DeKalb County, under 30 years of age, from drug abuse. And my heart, it breaks for their families. I can't imagine what they're going through, even right now. But let me tell you folks, through that sadness comes a lot of anger. Where's the public outrage here? Where's our community on this issue? As your judge, I will push forward and support more faith-based drug addiction programs. If you have a loved one that's got an addiction, I promise you we're going to get them help. And I believe that faith-based programs are important because when God changes hearts, He changes habits as well. However, to those who prey on the weak by making and selling illegal drugs, let me be loud and clear. Your reign of terror on our community will come to an end. When law enforcement does their job and they get a conviction on a drug dealer, I think the judge ought to do his job. And I will do my job, deliver swift justice, and punish those involved that are selling these illegal drugs to our children. And it will punish them, and it will deter similar conduct. And people will know when they come into DeKalb County, you better not bring those drugs with you. And when they come into Cherokee County, they're going to know you better not bring those drugs with you.
As a community, we must stand together on these issues and draw a line in the sand once and for all. I know I'm passionate about these issues. Some people say judges shouldn't be passionate. We ought to be old, boring guys sitting up in an ivory tower just making decisions. I disagree. At one time, judges were leaders in the communities, and they were passionate about things. And they were passionate about helping their communities. And I think that's what I can bring. Circuit judges are entrusted with the most solemn assignment of protecting our Constitution, which protects the way of life, and it's a good way of life in America. And that's an assignment that I take very seriously, and I know you guys do too. Thank you all for hearing me today. Dr. Barnett's flagging me down with time. We have a lot of work to do. I'm super excited about our future. I'm going to have a campaign kickoff event on September the 11th at 6 o'clock at the Coal and Iron Building in Fort Payne. And I'm going to go into more details and lay out a very clear plan. I'm not going to play politics with a judicial race. I think that's very unbecoming of a judicial candidate. But I think we need a plan. I think you deserve to know where a judicial candidate's coming from. And I'll lay that plan out for everyone on September the 11th. Thank you, everyone, and God bless you.
Thank you, Andrew. I think we're very blessed with the three candidates that we have so far for this office. I don't think you could go wrong in voting for either of them. I hope between now and June of next year, I can decide which one I am going to vote for. And then we have a choice. This time, we've got one other person that wants to announce the candidacy, I believe. Michael Edmondson.
Dr. Barnett, you ain't got to watch on this. It's kind of tough following attorneys getting up and speaking in public. I would like to announce my candidacy for the DeKalb County Sheriff this morning. I graduated from Crossville High School in 1998. Went to Hairston State Community College and received a degree in criminal justice, a 2-year degree. And for my intern, I went to work for the sheriff's office. I started there and I rode. Got my hours in, and I was able to be hired in the jail. I worked in the jail for about 1.5 years, and then I was promoted to a deputy sheriff. Went through the police academy. After that, I worked there several years, and I was promoted to sergeant. After the sergeant, I was promoted to captain, and then moved my way up to chief deputy. Today, I have with me my wife, Jody. Wave to everybody. We have 3 beautiful children that we love so dearly. I've got a lot of friends here with me today, and I appreciate them. I would like to ask for your support in this run. It's tough, and like I said, I'm not a lengthy speaker, not an attorney. I didn't get all those years of speech classes. Jack, but if nothing else, I would appreciate your support. And if there's any kind of questions you have with me, feel free to get in touch with me later on when I lay my steps out of things that I plan on doing at the office and things that I think this county needs to move forward. I will put my cell phone number out for anybody to be able to give me a call and get in contact with me at any time. Now my phone stays on 24/7. My wife can tell you about that because it rings most of the time. Again, I'd like to ask for your support, and thank you to each and every one of you.
Again, now don't forget to give me your email address before you leave. Because I know you're all just dying to get all these announcements I sent out. In addition to the reminders, breakfast club meetings, there frequently are other events that I sent notice about also. Town hall meetings, our legislators.
Thank you, Jack, for doing that. It is much appreciated.
Well, I enjoy doing it. So at this time, our president of the DeKalb County Commission, Elder Ricky Hargrove.
Sure is good to see all of you this morning, and thank you for being here. I get complicated with y'all on the way our church business operates on my side. Sometimes I have to leave church on Saturday, and they've been doing that way for 200 years, and they're not about to change. So I have to do it that way. I had the privilege this morning to present to you a man that I've known almost all his life, and been on his family longer than he's been born. Mr. Chris McCool is from the Zion community in Bordeaux, Alabama. That's in Pickens County. He has served for 16 years as PA in Pickens, Lamar, and Payne County, which is over on the Mississippi line north of Tuscaloosa. He lives on the farm. His brother Tim is a county attorney, also from Pickens County. I've known his mother and daddy, his grandmother and granddaddy, most all of my life. I've taught Sunday school and preached in that community for the last 50 years. I don't know of a man in the state of Alabama that I have any more regard for than I do Elder Chris McCool. They call me Elder. That don't mean I'm an old man. Although I've been around a long time. Brother McCool is pastor of the Zion Trinity Baptist Church, the Zion community of Bordeaux. And we're so happy that people of his caliber and these men who have announced their candidacy to represent us, we're so happy that we can recommend his kind to you. He told me one time that he was preaching, and there's a man there that was hard of hearing. And he said, I hear, but I can't understand. It's one of those nights that Chris said I didn't have it. He said they knew I didn't have it, but they were kind to me anyway. He said, I walked out, and the gentleman said, Brother McCool said, I'm hard of hearing, I hear, but I can't understand. But he said, what I heard and what I understood, I really enjoyed. Chris said, well, you didn't miss anything. He said, well, that's what some of the rest of them sing. Ain't that right? I didn't embellish that. I want to introduce to you this great man. I hope that you'll consider him in the race for criminal appeals court judge in the state of Alabama. Chris McCool, Bordeaux, Alabama.
I appreciate that introduction, and unfortunately, that kind of story about my preaching comes about every once in a while. I was preaching one place several years ago, and I preached there the year before at their revival, and I preached the next year. A lady came up to me after that service that second year, and she looked me in the eye and she said, young man, you're getting better. I didn't know how to take that. I wasn't sure how good better was. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak here. Let me just say, as Brother Ricky, appreciate the introduction. Brother Ricky's been a good friend for many, many years. Our people at my church, Brother Ricky probably preaches for us about 5 or 6 times throughout the year, maybe more than that, and they love him down there. If they could call him to preach, to be their pastor, they'd kick me out in a heartbeat, but he's stuck up here. He won't leave. I want to just say a few words, and I promise I'll try to be brief. I want to thank you all for the opportunity to speak to you. My name is Chris McCool. I'm district attorney, as Brother Ricky said, back down in Pickens, Fayette, and Lamar County. I've been district attorney for 16 years, but I've been prosecuting for nearly 23. I'm running for the Alabama Court of Criminal Appeals in 2018. It will be an open seat. There are 2 judges that they're not going to be running for re-election on that court, and I appreciate your consideration. Let me just say, I've always, when you're looking to support somebody in a position like this, you need to ask yourself, what kind of judge do you want? Who do you want to be a judge on the court? We've got some judge candidates here that have already spoken. On the court, where it's so important who serves, what kind of judge do you want? Well, I think, first of all, you want somebody who's experienced. As I said, I've been prosecuting for 22 and a half years, and I haven't just been, some district attorneys are administrators in some of the bigger circuits. My good friend Mike Odell is not. He's a trial prosecutor, as am I. What that means is that I've got to get in there and I've got to try cases as well. I also administrate, but I also have to try cases. And I've tried everything from traffic tickets and juvenile cases. I've tried hunting from a public road, appeal to a jury in Lamar County, and lost it, because you ain't gonna win one of those in Lamar County, but I did the best I could, you know. But I've also had the unfortunate experience of having to prosecute and ask for the death penalty in capital murder cases. 2003, we had, I sometimes think I'm the most unlucky DA in the state. I've had 2 different situations where police officers were murdered in the line of duty. And in 2003 was the worst one. We had a young man from Walker County came down and on a real, just a benign almost possession of stolen property case. They were booking him in the police station. He stole one of their guns and he murdered the whole night shift in Fayette. Killed 2 police officers and a dispatcher. And terrible, terrible situation. No DA ever wants to get that call that I got that morning about 5 o'clock. And unfortunately, those men were friends of mine. And but I was blessed to be able to stand there and advocate for them and successfully get the death penalty in that case. I've had all kinds of other cases. I've been able to blessed to stand up for victims throughout my career. Just got through prosecuting the case involving a city councilman who had been abusing his grandchildren, and he's serving life without parole now. So I've been there. I've been in the pit. I've stood there facing 12 jurors, 12 good citizens of the county, across from a defendant who's been an abuser, and I've asked for them to render justice. I've been there. I know what it's like. I think a judge ought to have to know what it's like to be in the pit, in the trial, before he can sit on the bench. And I feel that role. I think you need a man who's experienced. But you know, I think it's also important, as one or two of the candidates have already mentioned, that whoever you put in that position be grounded. I am blessed, as some of these other candidates have mentioned about their family. I'm blessed with I just have to say it, even though she's not here, the best wife in the world. We've been married 25 years as of this last February 14th. And we have 4 beautiful, wonderful children. Actually, they're not children anymore. The youngest is 15. My oldest is married. And I even like my son-in-law, believe it or not. He's good. So, you know, the Lord's blessed me with a good family. Grew up there in Pickens County on the farm, McCool Road. I told some people yesterday when I was speaking somewhere, I've never known what it's like to live on a paved road. You know, I've been on a dirt road all my life. And to be honest with you, my wife doesn't like it, but I love it. She's not here, so I can say that. But we live on a farm that's been in our family for 5 generations, 6 counting my children. And I'm so thankful that I got to grow up working on that farm with my dad. My dad, unfortunately, is sick now with Parkinson's, so he can't run it. So I run the farm. I manage the farm now. We have 6 chicken houses, 200 head of cows, about 100 head of Brangus, and about 100 head of registered Angus, but we don't register anymore. We just don't. We're not able to do that. It's too time intensive. So I know what it's like to live on Alabama dirt. I know what Alabama values are. And incidentally, Alabama values aren't unique to Alabama, or shouldn't be. They're just good values. So just because we call them Alabama values, they ought to be everybody's values. But I'm grounded. I have been in that area for all my life. And somebody asked me the other day, said, "You live there all your life?" I said, "Not yet, but I intend to." Also, I would say this about the judge in the category of being grounded. We don't need judges who think they're legislators. We don't need judges who are trying to make law. We need judges that are applying the law. We elect legislators to make law. We need judges that are going to uphold that law and apply it in a fair and just way. Which brings me to my last point. You need somebody in that judge position that's fair. You need somebody that's fair. One of the things I have loved about my last little over 2 decades worth of prosecuting is that, as Mike will tell you, the only client that a prosecutor has is justice. That's it. There's nobody else there telling you what to do. We represent the state of Alabama. And that's unique in our system, you know, most, and I appreciate my defense attorney friends and those in private practice. I appreciate them so much because they're good people and they try to do the right thing. All the ones that I knew are always trying to do the right thing. But I'm not hampered by having a client there saying, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm thankful to get to represent victims in a sense, but ultimately I represent Lady Justice. Every day when I get up, I get to do the right thing. And I want to take that same sense of fairness and justice to the bench down in Montgomery. And that's what I believe we need. Let me just, you know, I know y'all are worried because I'm a prosecutor, a politician, and a preacher, but I promise you, my wife, I'll be back by the time we check out at 11. So I promise you, I'm going to end up here. I just want to say this, though. Sort of to deviate a little bit from my talk about me. I hate talking about me all the time, but, you know, I want you to know who I am. I'll do that. The night of the election in November, I confess to you that I went to bed that night an unbeliever, okay? I was already prepared to preach Sunday morning about how we as God's people in the kingdom of God need to circle the wagons and recognize that just like the Israelites in the Goshen, the Lord protected them there, even though they had a wicked Pharaoh. I was expecting that I would get up the next morning, that I would be having to console people because I felt like that the other side was going to win. Okay, I confess to you I was an unbeliever, and I also confess to you that I was almost at the point of checking out. You know, somebody asked me, and this is my point. Somebody asked me, why am I running? Why am I running? I've been planning to do this for some time. I've been praying about it. I've been thinking about it for several years now. But by the time this election in November rolled around, I was about to decide I was going to check out. You know, because I just knew that Hillary Clinton was going to be the next president. I was so afraid of that. And I said, well, all I can do is circle the wagons. We'll move over into Goshen. You know, there was light in Goshen when there was darkness in Egypt. There was, you know, there was the Lord protecting his people. But you know, the Lord taught me a lesson. I learned a great lesson that day. When I woke up about 3:30 in the morning and looked at my phone and realized we'd won, I woke my wife up. She didn't know what was wrong. I was hollering. But I remembered something, that the powers that be are ordained of God. I remembered something that I forgot. I also remembered that the first verse that came to my mind, and I'm going to read it so I don't misquote it, was this verse in Ezra chapter 9 and verse 8. It said, and now for a little space grace hath been showed from the Lord our God to leave us a remnant to escape and to give us a nail in his holy place, that our God may lighten our eyes and give us a little reviving in our bondage. That verse kept running through my mind at 3:30 in the morning on the morning after election. For a little space, God hath granted grace. I believe that's where we are as a nation. I'm afraid if it had gone the other way, we were on a downhill slide to a place that several cities in the Bible went, that we don't want to go there. I believe that the Lord has granted us a little space for grace. So I say that to encourage you this. It's been mentioned already about not letting, about electing a Republican, about us sticking with party unity, if you will. Terry Lathan spoke to Marion County a few nights ago when I was there about party unity. We've got a big election coming up in a few days. And I don't know who your candidate is, and I don't really care, but I'll say this. After that election, there's a lot of people that are passionate about their candidates. After that election and after the runoff, whoever the party nominee is, we need to get behind them. We need to get behind them. We need to be unified, because we don't need a Democrat elected from the state of Alabama. Alabama's a state that is a red state. We ought to keep it that way. We don't need, whoever the nominee is, we need to get behind. Because I believe the Lord's blessed us with just a little space here that we can maybe find a nail in his holy place and get a little reviving in our bondage. I'll finish with this. I have one other verse I want to share with you, because I believe it's an important verse for all of us. I believe it's a verse that ought to apply to our lives every day, but especially if you're in politics, you're in public service. In my professional career, I've tried to remember this. It's Micah 6 and verse 8. It says this, what does the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God, And that pretty much tells me all I need to know, and tells you all you need to know about any candidate. If they will follow that, if your public service will follow that, you'll be all right, especially in the judicial system. He says, do justice. That means do the right thing. Do justice. He says, love mercy. Be compassionate when you can, as long as you're doing justice. And then finally, he says, walk humbly with thy God. My daddy always tells me, son, don't get too big for your britches. Okay? If I get to be president of the United States one day, and I forget that I grew up walking up and down the dirt road of McCool Road in Goro, Alabama, that I have failed. I have failed in my life. That's the life verse that I've tried to adhere to. I'm going to continue to try to adhere to that. I want to take that to the Court of Criminal Appeals in Montgomery. I'm Chris McCool. I'm running for the Court of Criminal Appeals. I thank you for your time this morning, and I appreciate your consideration and vote.
Jack, could I have just 1 minute?
Sure. You want to come on up?
I've had the privilege over the last few months of introducing to you, I think we've met most all of you, Steve Marshall, who is our Attorney General, Richard Minor, the DA from St. Clair County, who's running for Court of Criminal Appeals, a different seat than what this is running from, and then Chris McCool, DA from Pickens County. You know, over the years when we've had statewide judicial races, people would call me up to my home and say, hey, who do I vote for? And most of the time, all I could say was, just vote for the one with the R by their name. Because I really didn't know them very much, if I knew them at all. And they weren't really from here. Most of them are from South Alabama. But as I've said for Steve and I said for Richard, I want you to know Chris McCool is one of the finest human beings I've ever met. He's a man of great integrity and great character, and he's got a deep and abiding faith. But he's also our neighbor. Just like Steve Marshall's our neighbor from from Marshall County, and Richard Minor from St. Clair. Pickens County may be a little further west than we'd like to have, but it's still North Alabama. And one thing that you have with these three gentlemen that we've never had before is you've had all three of them come before you and shake your hand personally and speak to you face to face. That's a blessing, folks, because now you know who he is, you know who Steve is, you know who Richard is. And I would ask you all to very seriously consider in your heart when the time comes that we elect three neighbors who took the time to come to us and to speak to us and ask you personally for your vote. So with that, I want to thank Chris. I want to say happy birthday to Jack. And I too want to thank all the folks from Cherokee County who made the trek over here. We've got some great Republican friends across the mountain who've stuck with us and who are great, great advocates for what we stand for. And with that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody, especially those folks from Cherokee County. Several of them visit with us from time to time. We should come more often. I just noticed Judge Day over there. And I know I saw Bickelsheimer, who's a member of the Board of Registrars, and I'm sure there are others. And Madison. Our county chairman, County DeKalb Republican chairman this year, Scott Vaughn. Do you have any announcements?
Yes, sir. We've got our next fundraiser is going to be our dove hunt. It'll be opening day, and we're looking for details on that. It's going to be $50 a head of diving, farm, and vinegar. We'll have, I'm going to cook some barbecue. We've got a pond we can fish in, and try and get some stuff for kids to do as well. So it'll be a real good event. It'll be a lot of fun. That's kind of what we got going. We're also going to have a dealer pianos on December the 9th. It'll be at the DeKalb Theater. Just look for our Facebook page. There'll be more details coming out about that. We're going to really advertise it and try and sell it out.
There'll be a lot of dead birds flying at the end of the day.
I hope so. I hope so. Jack, you think we could give these candidates that are here, the other ones, maybe just a few minutes to address the crowd since we've got such a large crowd? I know there's several in the room.
sure. Oh, by the way, any of you that don't already know it, we do have a county Republican headquarters now. It's not open full time, but it probably will be open more and more full time. Any of you who are familiar with the area, it's the old Merle Norman store in downtown full time, 222 Galt Avenue North. If you go by there, take a look at the window, the door's not open. Just see where it is, because it will be open. Normally, we try to end this meeting by about 8:30, so it's not 8:30. So if we have any other candidates who've already announced who would like to say anything, whoever gets their hand up first. Anybody?
Okay. I'm Lester Black. I'm running for County Commission District 4. Been a lifelong DeKalb County and 63 years now. And, you know, when we started meeting, when I got active in the Republican Party, if we had 6 people to a meeting like this, we counted it a success. If you had 12, you had a real good meeting. We are blessed to see this many people, I mean, that are not only just here to hear the candidate, but really want to know who the candidate is. We have Mr. French here, one of our original people that helped get this started in this county. And I just really wasn't prepared to say anything, but I would ask for your vote on 2018 Loyd. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Okay. I'm Jeff McCurdy. I'm running for Circuit Judge Place 2. I announced on June the 5th of this year that I was seeking that position. I'm a lifelong resident of DeKalb County, born and raised in the High Point area. Went to school at Sylvania, graduated there in 1990. Like Lester was talking about, this is a huge meeting. I can remember when I was a little kid, like he said, we might have 10 or 15 people there. And that was a huge meeting. But I appreciate everybody coming out. I do have some signs in my car. If you would like one, I'd appreciate your support. If you have any questions, I'll talk to you after the meeting. I'll be glad to. But again, Jeff McCurdy, Circuit Judge, Place 2. Thank you.
I just want to point out everybody, if anybody doesn't know me, I'm Ron Slaycroft. I'm running for District 3 Commissioner, and I'm new to this, so forgive me if I'm a little nervous and all, but I would like to ask for support and vote in the primary, and thank you for helping.
I'm Melissa Ledbetter. This is a big crowd, so I'm going to try to address everybody. I'm not going to say a whole lot. I'm running for circuit clerk here in DeKalb County. I think the important things that I want to leave you guys with is one of the roles of a circuit clerk is actually issuing misdemeanor warrants, and that affects everybody in this room. One of the experiences and qualifications I have is interviewing defendants, investigations of caseloads, and managing the same. So I think that's important to consider when voting for your circuit clerk. I'm excited about meeting everybody, getting to know everybody, and going on this journey. This fits just with my personality. I love people and I love being around people. I think that's important for the circuit clerk's office because we serve the entire DeKalb County. Everybody that comes in that office should be treated with respect, and we should bend over figuring out how we're going to help that person, even if it means getting them to the right office to achieve their goal of what they walked in there for. So everybody in here, I appreciate your support. Feel free to come talk to me, or I'll come by and visit with you, have a cup of coffee, and I would just appreciate everybody considering to vote for me.
I'm Sean Bell. I'm currently your circuit judge for place number 1. And I'm proud of all these guys that are running for place number 2, and you ought to pray for them. And, you know, when you see this much of a crowd, and you're a Baptist preacher, and I'm not a primitive Baptist, I mean, I'm a Baptist, right? And pray for you. You know, you feel the Spirit moving. You got to get up and let them know that I'm up next year, and don't want you to forget about me. It's been one of the high honors of my life to be able to serve as your circuit judge. And, you know, the last time we had a pretty hard race against a real entrenched incumbent, and all of you people turned out and helped and supported, and I'm here because of everybody in this room. And I thank you for your support, I thank you for your help, and I look forward to next year in 2018, if the Democrats put somebody up, that y'all turn out and vote for me again. I hope you will. Pray for me, and pray for all these men and women who are running for these offices. Thank you.
Not running for anything, but I'm pushing for Judge Roy Moore for the U.S. Senate. He's polling at the top right now. We had him in Fort Payne at a big church a few weeks ago. Had about 400 people there. And so on Monday night, everybody really do some praying and soul searching and see if you can consider voting for Judge Roy Moore for the U.S. Senate.
Well, I am running for something. I'm Nick Welden, running for sheriff, and I'd like to say 2 little things. Scotty, I'm a former game warden. You're talking about getting the kids having fun. They're shooting butterflies and grasshoppers every 5 minutes. They're going to have fun there. And I also work Pickens County, and me and Mr. Gordon McGlawn, they shoot deer from the road, I guarantee you, down there also. But, no, I just want to tell a little story. It won't take long, at least 11, maybe 30 minutes. But, you know, several years ago, I was asked to do a job. I was still a trooper, and the troop commander calls me late one night and says, I need you to do something. I need you to get in your truck, in your personal clothes. I need you to be at a certain location and to take it from there. So I did, not knowing what was in store, because I knew the Call of Duty would be there in the position I was in. And I went, and I met with the FBI and the ATF and several others under the administration that's here now, recently, currently in the sheriff's office. And I was asked to do a traffic stop. Now, all the people that could be picked in the entire state or whatsoever in this county, I was asked to do one specific traffic stop. It would be the most known to man dangerous stop that would be made. I mean, knowingly that they would be armed and be the most dangerous people there is in this time. And I was asked to do it to perfection, because it would branch from there into multi-state search warrants and seizures, and there was a lot of people's lives at risk. They were in the process of a bombing attempt, and a lot of people don't know about this today. But I was asked by those people to make that stop the next morning. And it was pouring down rain. I got there and had about 2 hours of sleep, and it was pouring down rain. And if you're in law enforcement, that's 2 things you don't do. You try not to get wet. And, you know, you definitely don't stop a car in the rain. But knowing that it was going to take everything I had within me, because it all depicted on what just happened. And the ATF and the FBI said, we got your back. You know, they were staggered down the road, parked down the road. Well, as that car passed every single one of them, not one of them pulled out in the rain after it. I was the last stop that had to come by before it went and picked up a large amount of explosives. Well, I pulled that car over, knowing exactly what was in that car, exactly what their intentions were, that they were armed and everything, in a pouring down rain. And they said, you have to make this look like an ordinary routine stop, handle it to a T, or they will kill you. So I done my thing, advised, sir, you were speeding, what so heavy. And I retrieved the driver of that vehicle and moved him for safety. And we took those felons down that were armed. And from that moment on, it opened the door and executed search warrants in multiple states, stopped the bombings from taking place in Birmingham. Now, the reason I say that is, you know, I want everybody to know who I am and where I stand. Professionalism sets the pace for the organization that you're about. And I was asked from the outside to come in to do a job that hundreds of people could have possibly done. But I was handpicked for that job. And I ask you today, as running for sheriff, if you like what sets aside, if you like you know, I'm just gonna get to the meat and potatoes of it, because that's the way I shoot, you know. There's no sense in employees selling drugs. There's no sense, you know, in a big sex pool scandal that goes on that everybody in the country knows about. Professionalism was cut off, and it's proven today that there's no professionalism just over the road. And I'm running for sheriff because I just told you a story that came out of there where I was requested to come in and do something to perfection to take care of something. And it was handled accordingly, and it was handled professionally. And I ask today for your support to continue to become the next sheriff of DeKalb County. And I appreciate your prayers and thoughts, and most of all, consider what I just told you, that how professionalism can be replaced. Sometimes you just got to bring somebody in from the outside. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody.
Sorry.
I'm not running. I'm Sherry Gully, I'm the Vice President of our Women's Club. I cannot tell you how excited I am. This is a great big huge number, all of you turning out. I can remember when there would be me and James, Joe, and Miss Audra, just a handful of us ladies trying to help these men push this forward. So please, we have our ladies meeting on the 4th Monday at headquarters downtown, as Jack said, it's in the old Norman building. So you all please turn out. Again, it's the 4th Monday of the month at 6 o'clock. If you have an email address or a telephone number or something, be glad to see me. I will get you in and try and remind you of that. Again, I cannot tell you how excited I am. Please be prayerful for these candidates. It's our job to look to our Savior, as many of them have mentioned. So y'all, let's pray for these guys. This is hard work. I have worn out a pair of tennis shoes for Jonathan Bell, and I will do it again for a good man like that, a good Christian man. That's what we've got to put in office to move our country back to where it needs to be. Thank you again. If y'all do anything, let me know.
Thank you, Sheriff. See y'all next month.